Oh my God. Okay. Is there anybody here? Y'all. Okay, hang on. It's like 7. I didn't even get dressed. Wait a minute. Is there anybody in the chat? Hang on. Let me go tell people. I lost power. I have not had power for like the last hour, and it came on about 2 minutes before 10 o'clock. And so I was scrambling to try to go live, but then I didn't have internet. So I've been trying to get back online. Finally got online, and I need to go put a shirt on because I'm in my underwear. Hang on, y'all. Wait a minute. I'm still here. I'm just like putting an actual shirt on. If you are joining the live stream, please don't leave me yet. Hang on. All right. I'm here. I have to put on a shirt. I'm getting dressed, but not on the live stream. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Now I have on an actual shirt. I don't know if there's even anybody here. This has been the craziest day. Not that anybody cares. Look, I've already got my wine. I was ready. If I was not going live tonight, I was going to drink this entire bottle of wine. Who knows if I still won't. If you're joining me just now and you're new, hi, I'm Michelle from Unicorn and Centaur, and I'm a crazy mess. And tonight, this is what we're supposed to be making. It is a bookmark, a unicorn bookmark. Here's the unicorn horn, and there's the unicorn tail. Here's another one. Hang on. So here we go. I like this one better. Anyway, so it is a bookmark, and it goes in your books and keeps your place. So you don't have to like dog-ear your books like I do. Okay, let me get into the chat and see if anybody's joining me, because if you're my friend on Facebook, you've been dealing with my panic attack for the last hour. And if you're in the Extra Equestrians group, I just told you guys that there was no live stream, and I'm just a giant liar. All right, hang on. I'm in the Extra Equestrians group. Hang on. And I'm saying I'm online now. I'm on now. Y'all get on over here. Okay. There we go. But now I'm all sweating too. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. I need my wine glass. All right, now I'm going to YouTube to get to the live stream so I can get to the chat in case there's anyone here. Is there even anybody watching? I can't even see. It looks like 2 people or something like that watching. Whoever you are and you're here, if you're in the chat, go ahead and just make fun of me. My thumbnail. Deanna and Brittany. Deanna. It's been crazy, y'all. The whole last like 3 days have been like every single thing that has possibly been able to go wrong has gone wrong. Like everything. Hang on, one more thing. I need something else. All right. Here we go. We need a little sunshine in our lives. I usually have on something stupid like this for the live stream. So here we go. Fortunately, before I lost power, I had already set up everything for the live stream. So all I had to do was have a brief panic attack and try to figure out how to get online. So if you're not new, this is just par for the course for us. So Brittany, thank you for all your suggestions. And yeah, I'm going to need to get nice and tipsy first. So here's what I was doing when the power went out. I was just going to start one brief little thingy here. So here's what you need to make these bookmarks. We're going to go, I will demonstrate 2 different things. One is how to knit this cord. It's a knitted cord. Let's see if we can show it up close. So these are knit stitches. And then this was the closest to a unicorn horn I could find. If I want to make these and sell them on my Etsy store, but this doesn't really look like enough of a unicorn horn, I'm going to have to either make some unicorn horn charms or find some if I want to sell them on Etsy, because that looks kind of dumb. I mean, if I'm calling it a unicorn horn. And then the tassels. I'll show you how to make tassels if you don't already know how. So what you need is, for a bookmark, you don't want really fat yarn for a bookmark because it's going to break the spine of your book and the binding can come unglued. So what you want is very fine yarn. This yarn right here that I have, oops, oh my God, wait. This yarn right here that I was using for the silver one is a number 2 weight, which is a very lightweight, a sock weight yarn that you would knit socks out of. And it's still a little bit too thick for bookmarks. So I do a 2-stitch I-cord with the thick one. And then I found some of this. I'm just going to take this off. Excuse me. And then I have some of this, which is... Then I have some of this, which is a size 0 weight, which is a very, very fine, almost just like string. It's string, pretty much. So, so that's this. So, hey, Scott, can you check the air conditioning and see if the air conditioning is on? Since we lost power, because I'm like totally sweating. So Rebecca, yes, pretty lace weight. Well, actually what I ended up making with it is this cord. And yes, that would be a lace weight. So it's almost like a little, like a string, and it can be very difficult to work with. If you are a beginner knitter, you may have trouble with the very, very fine thread type stuff. So I was going to demonstrate how to knit an I-cord, and I think I'm going to do that with a little bit of a thicker yarn, though. Hang on. I need to hang on. Oh, here. I don't exactly have everything all together now. Hey. Okay, let me even check my background. I'm not even sure if I'm totally... Okay, hang on. I have some extra yarn, my stash. Why can't I get into this? All right, I've got the purple. Here is there is a teal. This is just an acrylic yarn. This is way too fat to use for a bookmark. But then you also need double pointed needles. You don't want to use regular needles that have an end to them because you're going to be knitting off of both. Oh, I can see the chat in this. Wait, Zadel's here. And so is Joanna. Y'all, this is different. Okay. Side note, I had another, not related at all to the power outage earlier. I had a panic attack this afternoon because trying to set up this live stream, YouTube has changed it. They don't let you do Google Hangouts on air anymore, which is how I was going live. And so today they wouldn't let me do that, and I could not figure out how to set up the live stream. So this is just me going live off the webcam like immediately with no, without it being a prepared event. And I've never done it this way before. And so it looks different on my screen, and all of a sudden over here, I'm like, I can see the chat. Live streaming is complicated, and I am not a technological person, y'all. I'm nearly 47 years old. I have an arts degree, but it's from before the internet. It's from the 90s, okay? So like all this YouTube stuff, YouTube and live streaming and all that, I've had to like learn. I didn't grow up on this stuff like some of y'all did. All right, I need more wine. I need more wine because I'm whining. So what you need to make the I-cord is actually double pointed needles. And that's what these are right here. They have points on either end. And if you're in the chat and you know about double pointed needles, and I'm sorry if I'm like explaining things to people who know. So I'm going to take 2 of these. I need 2 that match though. Do I have matching ones? What size is this? This is size 9. I don't have my reading glasses on, but even when I don't have my reading glasses on, I still like look down, like I'm looking down through the bifocal part. When I don't have to do that, I can look straight on and see it. Getting old is weird. Oh, also here, hang on. So here are the beads I found at Joann Fabric that I'm using for unicorn horns. And to attach everything, I've got a yarn needle, and I have a very small needle to sew the beads on. And I was thinking of adding trim, like, oh my God, I'm sweating. I was thinking about adding trim, like a little bit of like an iridescent ribbon or something, or a silver ribbon tied like right around the horn part or the tail. I don't know. So, hang on, wait, live streaming. Is it wrong to be on your fiance's phone without permission? Oh, I don't know. It depends on your fiance. Zadel says we have 7 full sets coming in tomorrow. 2 of them are drafts. Aw, you love to work on the drafts. I know you love draft horses. Me too, though. See, okay, this is why we can't have nice things. I did not have the light set properly. I'm like, why am I not even in the light? There we go. Okay. Uh-oh, and Joanna needs a friend to text her back. Okay, so here we go. I've got my 2 double-pointed needles, and I've got my yarn. You know what? I was thinking of a way to show what I'm doing by thinking of showing what I'm doing in a little bit. When I get to the smaller stuff, I'm going to put my computer. I'm doing this on my laptop. So I'm going to put my laptop on the table in front of me, and then I'm going to put my hands in front so you guys get a really good look at what I'm doing. So for starters, I'm just going to do a long tail cast on. So I do a slip knot, whoop, not the band, but an actual slip knot. And then I'm just going to do a 2-stitch I-cord, just like that. So 2 stitches on the needle. Now, normally when you do knit work, you knit 1 row, and then you turn your work, and then you knit that, and then you turn your work, and then you knit that. So you keep going back and forth. But with I-cord, you don't ever turn it. That's why you have to use double pointed needles. So I am going to knit 1, knit 2, and then instead of turning it like I normally would, I slide the stitches to the other end and just start again. Now, you're used to starting with, here's your end. So don't knit with that by mistake. Oh, come on, get in here. So when you're coming back here, if you've never done I-cord before, you're going to be tempted to use this thread. Don't resist the temptation. Grab the long end, bring it around, and then you're going to knit 2 more. And remember, instead of turning, get it all the way over here. This may be a little bit, the needles may be too big for this to really see what I'm doing. So then knit 2. Don't turn it, slide it. Knit 2. You can do 2, 3, or 4 stitch I-cords depending on your what you're doing with it. But see how it's already making like a little, it's already making a cord. Let me see if I can get you guys sort of zoomed in and put down here in the front. Hang on. Prepared for pics tomorrow. Nice. Right, knitting looks complicated. It is when you don't understand what you're looking at. So here, hang on. But once you figure out what's going on. Okay, so let me look at my phone so I can see what I'm looking at here. Okay. Let me see if I can. Is that going to illuminate it a little bit? I'm a little bit behind in the chat. So, okay. So here we go. Here's this part of the thread is coming out of this side, and that actually needs to be away from us. So I don't know if you can really see that this is like a knitted cord. So here's what I'm going to do. Got my stick here, and I put it in through this stitch. Then I take my long end, not the little end that not the tail end, but this long end that's attached to the ball of yarn. Wrap it around that. Bring it through and off. Put your stick through. Wrap that around and back. So now we've got 1 more. Now, if we were doing regular knitting, this is where we would turn it and start this side. But again, we don't. We just slide that stick down to this end. And then we start again. Put that needle through. Wrap the thread around. Pull it through. See how we pulled that loop through? And then pull the old loop off the needle. Needle through the loop. Yarn wraps around. Needle brings the new loop through the old loop and push the old loop off. So keep your tension in this hand. And so now we've got our cord getting longer and longer. You want to see what happens when you mess up? and you forget and you actually turn your work. So here we go. This is how you normally knit. And then pull it off, put that through, around and off, and then turn it again. So this is regular knitting, getting to the end of the line and turning it. But see how that makes it different. This is much, so that does a much different thing. That's doing something else there. Anyway, so hang on. That's pretty much basically that knit stitch. And you can make a cord that way. Now, if we are, if we're crocheting, if you don't knit, if you only crochet, you could do the same thing. Hang on a second. I'm sweaty. So you can do the same thing with yarn. Is this a big enough needle? I don't know. Hang on, I need a big old crochet hook. I call them crochet needles, and I know that's wrong. They're crochet hooks. Let me use green. So if you're a crocheter, you can always make a bookmark or do a cord with just by chain stitching. So chain stitching a bunch of stitches. So you can chain stitch and make the cord instead. I don't think a crocheted chain stitch is as pretty as the knitted I-cord. This to me is just, that looks nice. It's like completely stitched it around. So, but if you can't knit and you're like, no way, lady, I am not even dealing with this kind of thing today. This is not my life. I'm not about this. Then just chain stitch a big long chain and then pop a crystal on one end, and then we'll make a tassel. Now tassels, we've got, this one looks dumb because it was using the very end of the ball of yarn where it's all like crinkled up. The way you can do this and get around this is to use a card. I'll show you how. My tour guide badge. So to make a tassel, let's use this again. We're going to make a tassel with the yarn. Why is this light on now? Okay. No, why? Oh, because I did this. There we go. Lighting. So with this, you need to make a tassel. Where's my scissors? Oh, I want these. To make a tassel, you get one piece of yarn, and then you wrap. So I have my yarn piece right here, and then I just wrap a bunch of times. It depends on how thick you want your tassel. So like a bunch of wraps. So see, I've got this, and then I still have the ends of my yarn right here. So now what I do is I take the ends of yarn and take my fingers out. Now I've got like loops of fabric. Brother, may I have some loops? And then you tie that off, tie that in a double knot. Now we're going to go on down here, and we're going to cut these. We're close. Can you see how we're getting a tassel? Can you see it happening? Then we get another piece of yarn and we tie it around the top. Now here's where I might use like a little piece of ribbon to make a bow when I'm making it into a unicorn tail. This is a quick and messy tassel. So there you go. You've got your little, and then you can trim the ends, give it a haircut. And now you have a tassel. Now you have a tassel, and you can make tassels and put them on everything. You can make little earrings. You can put them from the rear view mirror of your car. You can attach them to all your shoelaces. You can put them on your dog's leash or your cat's collar. I don't know, you live your life. So doing the tassel like this is just your regular, everyday, ordinary tassel. Loops, brother. I saw that, Joanna. I can barely crochet. If you want to do it, if you want to crochet and you want to knit, do something really simple first. Make a washcloth. Make a scarf, like a very small scarf too. And you really only have to learn like 1 or 2 stitches to do that. And so learn those and practice them, and you start to get good at it. And it's fun to do sometimes, like if you're sitting and just like watching, if you're binging a TV show, you know, it gives you something to do while you're, you know, just sit there and absorb information through your brain holes. Face holes, I guess. Those are not your brain holes. My brain has lots of holes, I suppose. I needed this wine tonight. I don't want to, that sounds awful. Like, I don't need wine. I get it. But oh my God, that was all I could think of. Like, as soon as the power came on and it was like 2 minutes till 10 o'clock, I was like, I'm going in that refrigerator for that entire bottle of wine. And I pulled it out and I was like, that's my priority. I don't care if the live stream is 5 minutes late. I'm going to have me some wine. And y'all know my, I had to have Sunny tonight. My Sunny unicorn wine glass. Painted like my horse Sunny. Okay. So if you get tassels that look like this, what you can do is make them instead. Sorry, I'm a mess. I'm not totally organized because the hour that I was supposed to be organizing this, I was laying on my little futon over there feeling sorry for myself. Okay. So first of all, let me finish this one off. Oh, I'm not that one. What am I doing? I need this. I'm about to bless my own heart. Okay, so I did this, and then I want to, well, I'm finishing it off is what I'm doing. I'm pulling one loop over the other, and I'm going to cut it. Okay. Anyway, Joanna, if you are still watching, learning how to knit or crochet something like a washcloth or a simple scarf is not only fun, but it's August right now. So this gives you time to, do the things that you do in your normal life, work, school, horses, whatever. But it also gives you a chance to practice your skills. And then before you know it, like it's going to be time to knit people Christmas presents. So that's always fun. Like when you just start knitting and then everybody gets a scarf for Christmas. Everyone's like, oh, thanks, Joanna. It's a poorly knitted beginner scarf. Taylor's here. Hey. Oh, Rebecca, thanks. These last few days have been crazy. I should have gone to Taekwondo. Actually, no, I shouldn't have gone to Taekwondo tonight. I skipped Taekwondo class tonight because I was just having too much panic and anxiety, and I needed to like have some time to calm down. And of course, immediately the power goes out. But if I had gone to Taekwondo, I would have come home and all the power would be out and I would have panicked. I would have panicked. So, how to do a tassel if you have yarn that looks like this. So yarn that looks like this is going to make like a curly, bent, weird tassel. So I take one piece of it to start, boom. And then I'm going to hold that across. So I'm going to hold this across this card. I should do it that way. It's not distracting. So it's going to go across the card this way. And then I'm going to take my yarn. And I am going to, I wonder if you can see it. Hang on. I am going to wrap it around. Hang on, everyone. Keep that out of there. Okay. So now we've wrapped the yarn around the card. And the thing is, we don't pull it off yet. This is the thing. If you've got curly, messed up yarn, you're going to have to let your tassels sit overnight. And in extreme case, if you have cotton yarn, you can wet it, like spray it down and wet it and leave it overnight like this, and it'll be perfect the next day. Oh, I should have done that up higher. Take me higher, baby, 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 light my fire. Okay. So then I'm going to tie off my ends, and we'll see by the end of the live stream how this looks. I don't know if it'll look that great, but we're going to leave this like this, and hopefully I remember and I haven't had too much wine by the end of the live stream, and we'll check on that. All right, this thread is going everywhere, so I have to deal with this. Hang on. So, oh, and I got a little bobbin of teal thread for my teal thing. Oh, hang on. I can't let that go, y'all. Scott had been doing something with a needle and thread and had lost the needle on the bed and was like, oh, it'll be fine. But guess what? It wasn't fine because it was like sticking up in the thing. He stabbed himself in the butt cheeks with the needle. I was like in another room, and I hear, I'm like, what? And he kept like screaming, and I'm like, oh my God, my husband's dying. And it turns out he had like just stabbed himself in the ass with the eye end of the needle. It had gone through his pants into his butt cheek. And I've done something like this before, not in my cheek, but I have stabbed myself that hard before with a needle. So I was laughing at him, but I love him, and it wasn't mean-spirited. So, okay, I'm putting my needles over there. Random story. Okay, hang on, I don't need these. Look, these are size 0. I had some size 1s, but I sat on one of them, and it didn't survive. You see, Scott sits on a needle, and it stabs him in the cheek. I sit on a different kind of needle, and it broke in half. So, wah, wah. I suppose that if it had been an aluminum needle, if it had been an aluminum needle, it still would have bent, which, you know, it's ruined then anyway. All right, y'all, I gotta keep going with my wine. Brittany's back, yay! Uh-oh, Brittany scared her mom. Uh-oh, you shouldn't be doing that for real, Britt. I'm at the age where I get annoyed when people like scare me like it's a prank, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm gonna kill you. All right, hang on. Now, what am I doing? I showed how to make the I-cord. I showed how to make the tassel. So maybe we should just like do some knitting and let me sit in the chat and talk to some people. I wanted to show the I-cord done on a much smaller scale. Maybe we should go back to watching me knit for a few minutes. So here we go. Let me set that up while we're sitting here talking. Never enjoyed being scared. I used to like horror movies and things like that. I always appreciated those. I used to like being scared, but like not so much anymore. I don't know if it's being a mom. Like all you have to do to scare me now that I'm a mother is to like say something happened to my child and I'm a mess. You know. Or just to even think about something happening to my child. And I'm like, ah. I've gotten more cautious as I've gotten older. Like things that used to be exciting to me are now scary, like galloping on a horse. Like when I was, 12 years old, I would kick that pony as hard as I could and we'd take off and he'd go as fast as he could. And I'd be like, wee, this is amazing. But I would not dream of doing something like that right now. And now I would be like, okay, first of all, do I have my helmet on? Second of all, no. I guess maybe too, it hurts way worse falling the older you get. So, all right, I'm going to change the view here in just a second so I can knit a little bit and show you guys, demonstrate the I-cord. So, scary movies are a huge note. Have you watched any of the funny scary movies, like Scary Movie? Those are pretty good. There's one, what is it? Tucker and Dale Save the Universe or something like that, or Tucker and Dale defeat the zombie rednecks. I don't know. It's some weird kind of title, and it stars Alan Tudyk and oh god, some other dude. But it's like a comedy horror movie. It's hard to describe unless you've seen it, but it kind of makes fun of the horror genre, and it's really funny. Tucker and Dale. Oh dang it! Now I'm annoyed. Jump scares are what kill me. The jump scares are annoying. They're not even real scares. Those are cheap scares. And if the movie keeps doing that to you, it's bad. Tell them I said so. Southern came out. My Southern comes out sometimes real thick. Yeah. Hang on. I've got to look up Tucker and Dale because it's bothering me now. But it's like making fun of a horror movie. I'm just going to look up Tucker and Dale. I'm pretty sure that's their names. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. There you go. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Two scruffy pals backwoods vacation takes a bloody turn when ignorant college students mistake them for a pair of murderous hillbillies. So like these guys are not murderers, but these like vacationing teenagers like are assuming they're, you know, mass murderers or whatever. And it's just a hysterical movie. And it's not like scary because there might be jump scares though. The jump scares would be annoying, honestly. Now I gotta get back to the chat. Yeah, jump scare. Well, that's generally how you scare people is by jump scaring people. You know, you jump out. Liam does that to me sometimes. And I have to be like, fine. Right, here I am again. No, it's jump scares in movies, Brittany, that bother me. That makes the movie bad because those are the kind of scares that those are just that you do to people. It's not something that furthers the story along or really helps ratchet up the tension or the drama in a movie. It just makes you go, ah. So, I don't know. Which is fine if we're just like around the house. But in a movie, like stop. Scare me with stories. Scare me with concepts. Scare me with, you know, a dramatic build. How did we get off of this? I don't know. Okay, so here's what I am going to do now. Come here, babies. Come here. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to take this yarn. Hang on, I want to move. Here's my emergency unicorn that one of Unicorn and Centaur's patrons, my dear friend Neil sent me. I think I posted this on Instagram. I'm here to tell you how amazing you are. There you go. So in case I forget, this is my favorite. Come frolic in the greenery. Like what even? Okay, so. But anyway, I did that. Oh, birth control pills. Y'all don't need to see those. Okay. My hormones. Is this better? Is this better? Is that going to show it? Is this going to have me? Okay. I want y'all to be able to see this over here too. Is that too much light too close? That might be. Okay. Let me look. Rebecca, this is reminding you how much you need a bookmark. Yes. Okay, Rebecca, this is the reason I'm doing this is because I am trying to participate in an analog challenge. There's a YouTube channel I follow on YouTube called How to Get Your SHIT Together. And so here I am. I'm going to make 3 for this I-cord. So, and it's this lovely voiced Irish lady. So here we are. Actually, that is not good lighting. Hang on. Whoa. So yeah, the channel is How to Get Your SHIT Together. And for the month of August, she is doing an analog challenge where she shuts off all her screens and she goes outside. So she's promised herself some outside time every day in August. And I go outside every day because my horses live outside and my job is outside. So here we go. We're sliding it down to the end. So that was her analog challenge. So I'm like, well, challenging myself to go outside every day is not going to be much of a chore or much of a challenge. So I was trying to think of what I could do for myself. Um, what would be the equivalent for me, something that I don't do anymore that I really need to. And I realized I don't read like actual books anymore. I am lazy and read things on my phone. I don't read novels anymore, which I used to do that like nonstop. That was everything. Um, have I figured out the secret to getting my stuff together? Oh, Taylor, I'm sorry for the sudden camera change. um, but yet, no, I have not yet. But actually, she has helped me. That lady, her Laura, I think is her name. She has helped me with just getting organized with a lot of things lately, which has helped. But my analog thing is going to be to read a book, like a real book. Articles online don't count. Tweet storms don't count. Facebook posts don't count. Reading the captions with YouTube doesn't count. Um, but I tend to read everything either online. Yeah. Oh, you read 4 books in 5 days while you were on vacation. Oh, that's so much fun. That is like such the fun thing about vacation is just to go through it. I remember when I was young, my mother would take me to the library every week, and I would get a stack of books and just go through them. And I just don't do that anymore. And so that is my challenge. And that is where the idea for the bookmarks came because I used to knit bookmarks, but I can't find them anymore. I don't know if I sold them all in my previous Etsy store. No, I only sold one of them. I don't know what happened to the others. Maybe I gave them all away as gifts. So see how we've got this I-cord thing happening already. So here we go. I'm bringing it close so you can see. What am I knocking down? Okay. So I'll turn it back around in just a second and you can see my face. I just wanted you guys to watch the process. Oh, they're really pretty. Thank you. 3 books in the last week. It's amazing how it slows down when you get back home. So where is the book? Oh, let me go get the one I'm reading right now because it will surprise literally no one. Here I go. I'm coming back. I will share it when I turn the camera back around. Hang on. I went and got my book. So yeah, I was like, hey, I need some more bookmarks because I dog ear the pages. I will turn down the pages of a book. I'm not even sorry. I think that's technically chaotic evil. But there we go. Okay, let's turn this back around so we can see each other. So we can say, hi, hey girl, hey. Let me pull this in closer though. Whoa, my lights. My whole setup, you guys. This is a mess. All right. Forever losing bookmarks. Well, if you know how to make your own bookmarks, if you knit them, then it's not going to be a problem. I thought about making paper ones too, like doing my little, where's my little unicorn illustration? My little unicorn cartoon character and like putting that on a paper bookmark. But I don't know. I kind of like the knitted bookmarks. I've made them in the past where they were daisies, where this was a green strand. And then at the top, I had a button, a yellow button for the center of the daisy. And then I used I-cord to make white loops. They were just like loops. Again, brother, may I have some loops? So I made daisy bookmarks because daisies are my favorite flower. That is my witch name. Is Daisy. That's me. Oh my God, hello everyone. I'm all trying to be cool and then it's like a sudden earthquake. Okay, so, all right. I haven't found myself needing mine in just a second. Hang on. Look at there. I'm starting to feel more relaxed and it's probably because we're like, what? Oh my gosh, we're 45 minutes into the live stream. Actually, we're not 45 minutes. I started late. And I'm working on my glass of wine. Hang on a second. I'm such a mess. Okay, so we did tassels, and that is the end, which is the unicorn tail. And then the rest of it is just knitting this I-cord. And once you know how to do the I-cord, it's actually fun to make these. They knit up really easily, and I use them for a lot of different things. I use them for drawstrings here. This is the bag. Gosh darn it! I gotta quit. This is the bag I knitted. It's just like a little. I was practicing knitting a bag, and I use it now for my tarot cards. But then this is a drawstring, and it's simply a knitted. It's knitted out of this actually. It's just I-cord. So you can make drawstrings. If you lose the drawstring in a pair of pants, you can get some cotton thread, cotton yarn, like this. Hang on. This Peaches and Cream, which is a brand. This is 100% cotton yarn, and something like this would be great for doing drawstrings. So if you lose drawstrings out of pants, you can do a 2 or 3 strand I-cord and get that fixed. You can make string or rope or cord for just about whatever you would use that for. And hand knitted makes it fun. Like I don't have I've got my witch hat here, and one of my witch hats that I have, I sewed ribbon to it so I could tie it underneath my chin, so that on windy days at the barn, when I wanted to wear my witch hat for sun protection while I'm lunging or riding, it wouldn't blow off. So you could also do that with I-cord if you wanted. If you didn't have any ribbon, but you have like some yarn sitting around, like knit up some I-cord and then stitch that on there. So it's an easy way to make cord. Oh, Taylor, thank you so much for showing up tonight and being here. Girl, you know I love you so much. I hope you got some work done on your scarf tonight. I think Taylor was working on a knitted scarf this evening. So Rebecca, if you don't like the I-cord for a bookmark, you can just knit like a very small scarf. What I want to do is I want to order, in this weight, I want to order all the Hogwarts colors for all the Hogwarts houses. And then I want to knit little miniature scarf bookmarks. I did this before. I did which one did I do? I'm trying to think. I think I did a Hufflepuff scarf, because like black and yellow were the only colors I could find. I couldn't find like all of everybody's colors. Excuse me. But to knit a scarf, and just to knit it really teeny tiny, like 1 inch by 8 inches with a little fringe on the ends, and it looks like a little house scarf, and they're so cute, and I really want to make those so badly. So if I find all the right color yarns, guess who's getting a bookmark for Christmas? What are you Slytherin, by the way, Rebecca? If you're still here, let me know. I think I am the Gryffindor who has the most Slytherin friends ever. I swear to God. Like, and all y'all love me for some reason. All y'all hate all Gryffindors, except they're like, oh, but you are funny or whatever, or like, except you. And all y'all non-Harry Potter fans, I apologize for geeking out for a moment. So, Fun Size Equestrian is here, and you are Hufflepuff. Oh, nice. Oh, Ravenclaw. Okay. Well, I didn't know. With Slytherin, I thought you're very ambitious, you're very loyal, you're very, don't mess with my girl. You always have my back in like a very real way. And I don't know, sometimes that reminds me of like my friend Adriana, who does, Adriana, who does Tag Chat with me. She's a Slytherin, and she's got that a little bit too. So not like Gryffindor's actually going to read a book though. Okay. I feel attacked. Ravenclaw. Okay, well then somebody's going to get blue and silver. Okay. Look, I've already got some silver. Well, it's not the right weight. Dang it. So, okay, here I am knitting my unicorn I-cord. Ooh, maybe next crafting live stream, we need to make unicorn horn charms out of polymer clay, like Sculpey. Because I really want to make my own unicorn horn charms for the horns. Just see how I want to do that. You know what else I want to make? Let me know. Whoever is still here in the chat, let me know your thoughts here, because here's 2 things I was thinking of for crafting live streams. One was to do, of course, one I thought of today was how to make the unicorn horn charms, because this these little glass beads here, I mean, they're pretty and all, but they don't really look like a unicorn horn. And it disappoints me with a little hole in them and bake them and then put them on there. And then the whole thing is like, oh, handmade and all that. Um, but another thing I wanted to make for the crafting live streams was little plastic charms. Do y'all, who remembers Shrinky Dinks? I don't know if any of y'all are old enough. If Grinios is here in the chat, he's probably old enough to remember Shrinky Dinks. Geek Girl, I don't think you're old enough. I had Smurf Shrinky Dinks, but they're plastic where you draw on you color it in and you draw, and then you cut out the plastic and you put it in the oven and you bake it, and the plastic shrinks up into this hard plastic. It's like a really hard plastic thing. So what I want to do is to draw my little unicorn cartoon character on it and make little unicorn charms that I can add to things or sell on Etsy or just put on, gifts that I give away. Anyway, so plastic Shrinky Dinks or unicorn horn Sculpey charms. What do you think we want? Is anybody interested in that? Just let me know and I will set it up. Glass beads remind me of childlike empress's headpiece. Aw, did you see the link on somebody put? There's like a place in Germany where you can experience all the Neverending Story stuff, and I was like, ugh. First of all, Germany. Second of all, Neverending Story. I'm like, you had me at hello. Shrinky Dinks, you did? Okay. Then they must have stayed around like a little while after I was a child. My sister and I loved those. The Smurf ones I had were the ones that I remember most. I love doing the Smurf ones. But yeah, the Shrinky Dinks were fun. But anyway, the reason I thought of the Shrinky Dinks was I saw an art hack or a crafting thing, like one of those stupid videos online where they show you stuff in the video and you're like, woo, it's magic. So I don't even know if this actually works. But what they did was, those plastic takeout food containers, like you get a salad in a clear plastic container. It's like the number 7 or number 6 or something like that, plastic. Wash that when you're done with it, and you can use that flat surface of it to use that to recycle instead of like buying plastic sheets or something like that. So you just like draw on that with permanent marker and cut it out or whatever, and then you use that, and that shrinks up and hardens in the oven. And I want to know if that's real or if I'm going to set my house on fire. So maybe that would be an interesting live stream. Watch me either A, do DIY Shrinky Dinks, or B, set my kitchen on fire. Anyway. Uh-oh, someone's low. Y'all, I opened this bottle. Don't judge me. It's been a rough week. What day is it? Like the whole last 3 days have been like utter crap. I had a great weekend. I was on top of the world. I was like, oh my God, I'm healing. I'm getting better. I'm doing things with my life. Like maybe everything's going to be great. And then like the last 3 days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday has been like one steaming hot pile of crap after another that I have to just be like, thank you for the crap. So yeah, it's not been a great few days mentally, which of course my younger viewers, if you're watching, my younger folks, when you are having mental health issues, drinking alcohol is not the answer. But that's why I haven't done it until today. I didn't drink anything yesterday or anything the day before. I pretty much only drink alcohol with you guys. So I'm not sure if that's a problem or not. But just to make sure that you guys understand that I am not medicating my mental illness with alcohol, not at all. It is nice to kind of feel relaxed for the first time in 3 days. And it's weird that I'm feeling that like live online, but okay. So, wish I could tell that to my brother. Aw, it's hard. I come from a huge family of alcoholics, fun-sized equestrian. Like my whole family, not that this is an excuse, but we're all Irish and Scottish, like generations back. Okay. And their alcohol pretty much killed my uncle and my grandfather, my maternal grandfather. And it's hard. It's hard watching loved ones go through that, but that's one reason I don't, because I'm the kind, obviously you guys see, like when I start drinking, I don't just like, oh, I had a glass of wine and I nurse it for an hour. No, that's great. I'm like, well, my glass is empty. I need some more. But this is why I don't do this every night. Because I know that I'm the kind of person who will just keep going because hey. So they sell Shrinky Dinks at Michael's. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out. I wonder, do they have like the plain sheets so that you can make your own? Um, anyway, My Little Pony Shrinky Dinks. I don't think they had those when I was little because I would have had every single one of those. I would still own them. Okay, please don't set your house on fire. I try. What Scots clan are you? I don't know, but my maternal grandmother was Gordon. That was her name, and my paternal grandmother was, her Scottish name was, well, she was a Cowart, Cowart, but I don't know um, that. My Irish uh, family name is Caines, Caines, and what else? I'm trying to think. Oh, my other Irish grandfather was Ponder, Ponder. But my family is like married. Like my Paget is not. I don't have any blood relation to the name Paget. That's my last name, but I don't have blood relation to it because my grandfather Paget adopted my father. So, yeah, that's that. Hang on, here we go. I need more wine. Am I like spilling it on myself? Have we reached that point? Have we reached that point? Okay. But yeah, you know what though? I don't want to get political here, but y'all know the thing with Elizabeth Warren, how she said she had Native American heritage, and then she found out she didn't. Y'all, that totally happened to me. My paternal grandmother told me, she showed me a picture. She told me that my great great grandmother was a full blood Cherokee woman. She showed me this picture of a very dark skinned, very odd, like didn't look like, an Irish person. Uh, very like large cheekbones and very round face and very dark skin. So she showed me this picture and she said, "This is your great great or great 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 grandmother," and she was full blood Cherokee Indian. So I grew up thinking that I had Native American blood, which made me feel so proud. And I would tell people all the time, "Oh, I'm Irish and Scottish, with just a little bit of Cherokee Indian." Um, but yeah, not enough to be like a tribe member or anything, but enough to count for me, enough to be personally meaningful for me. But then my father, who that was supposedly his grandmother or his great great grandmother, my father had his ancestry or 23andMe or whatever it was done, and it's like 100% Scottish and Irish. So like I've been telling people my whole life this, and then I find out, oh shoot. So y'all call me Pocahontas and make fun of me if you want, but I was kind of disappointed in that. Anyway, so that's what me and Elizabeth Warren have in common. Is that we were wrong because family members told us a story about a dark-skinned relative. So here I am. I'm still knitting my I-cord with this very fine thread. Remember, this is size 0 crochet thread is what it's called. And it's in the colorway Ocean. I really should be ordering stuff online. I just don't think enough ahead of time. I like get an idea and then I just go to Walmart and Joann Fabric or whatever. And if they don't have what I want, I'm like, well, dang, meh, everything's dumb. And then I go online complaining about how I couldn't find what I wanted. And everyone's like, why didn't you just go on Amazon? And I'm like, y'all, because I'm old and I don't think of the internet first. I'm like, what store can I physically go to? I kind of like shopping in person too. I like being able to look at what I'm buying. I like to be able to look at what I'm purchasing and touching, especially if it's something I'm going to make a craft of, like fabric or trim or yarn. I want to be able to really see the color. I want to be able to feel what it feels like, because there's so many things that are yarn, especially that are labeled soft, and then you touch it and you're like, Like this stuff, for instance, this is supposed to be really soft, but it feels like plastic acrylic yarn is what it feels like, honestly. I would never wear a sweater made out of this on my bare skin. And I'm embarrassed to even make scarves out of acrylic yarn because it can be warm because it's a synthetic fabric in the wintertime, but it just also, it doesn't feel nice on your skin. It's not pleasant. It's not. Unfortunately, if you're a beginner knitter and you're not very financially well off, acrylic yarn may be the only thing that's in your budget. They do make really soft acrylic yarn though. Joanna, if you're still here, hang on. I don't know if Joanna is still here, but anyone who is just a beginner, because we were talking earlier, if you're in the chat, about making Christmas presents. If you're new to knitting or crochet, the first thing you should do is like a washcloth or a scarf, and then like everybody gets that for Christmas. And this brand, this Karen Simply Soft, it really is very soft. It is 100% acrylic, but the difference between this, which was like, this was Red Heart yarn or something like that. One of the cheap ones you get at Joann Fabric or Walmart. So this compared to this, there really is no comparison. I've made newborn baby hats out of this and not been embarrassed to give it as a baby shower gift. This stuff is so super soft. It's just wonderful. So yes, that Karen Simply Soft. If you're on a budget like mine and but you still want to make people things and you still love people and want to do something great, then that is one thing that you could do. So there. Oh my gosh, it's 11:03. I guess I should end the live stream at some point this evening because this has been a crazy day, y'all. All y'all who have been with me tonight and helped me through this crazy day. Deanna, who was here, and Taylor and Brittany and Zadel and Rebecca and Joanna, you guys, and Fun Size Equestrian, you guys are so wonderful. Sometimes I wonder why I am doing this. I'm just like going live online and who cares? But the feedback is nice. It's validating in a way to have people say, thank you for being here and I love what you're doing. So I hope that doesn't sound dumb, but I really, really appreciate you guys who come here. There's a core group of like 10 or so of you. Not everybody's in every chat, but there's a core that comes to my live streams, and I cannot tell you guys how much you mean to me and how much I look forward to the live streams and to share creative passions and to share my horse passions with people who understand and who get it too and who are that kind of nerdy and crazy as well. Does any of that make sense? Oh my gosh. Anyway. Oh, you're Cuban Italian. That is a spicy combination. Nice. All right, Geek Girl, Polish and people who have invaded Poland. Hey. Yeah. I love your Polish pictures on Facebook of the cultural things you share and the events that your children go to with all of the native costume. I don't want to say costumes. That sounds rude. But the dresses and the food and the everything. I'm in love. I'm in love. I have my Scott, my husband's best friend, is Polish, and he gives us food all the time. And it's always these thick, hearty stews of like root vegetables and meats. And it's like all recipes his Polish mother gave him. And he can speak Polish too. So I don't know if you can speak Polish, but if you were here, then you could talk to Scott's friend Barry. Ancestry test. Yes. Fun Size Equestrian says, brother had a tough year this year. He's 22, trying to get his head that the drink is not the answer at times. That's really young. And you know what? That is Fun Size Equestrian. If you are still here, when I was 22, I was very into medicating myself with alcohol and things like that as well. And after that, I went into a phase where I did a lot of crazy drugs, like all through my 20s. And it was all about being an artist and experimenting and all these things. But there comes a point where it's not fun and it's not experimenting, that you're using it to escape your real feelings. And that's when you have to take a step back and really have the courage to examine your choices and to examine yourself and to be able to look at the ugly parts of yourself, the parts that you're not proud of, the parts that you don't want other people to see, to be able to look at that honestly and say, I need to do something about this and it's going to suck. It's going to hurt, but I can do it because I'm strong and I'm amazing. So I hope your brother gets to that point. And as young as that, at 22 is young. That's also part of like getting out of the house and being free for the first time. Like you don't have your, well, not for the first time if you're 22, but you're still young enough to where you're like, nobody can tell me what to do. I'm a grown up, God dang it, you know? and so there may be a little bit of that, especially like I grew up like not doing drugs, not smoking cigarettes, not having sex, not doing anything like that. So when I got to college, I was like, hey, I'm a grown up now. I can do all the fun stuff. But there comes a time when you have to do a little bit of a self-assessment. So your brother could be headed for that. I think I was in my late 20s, even early 30s, like around like late 20s to 30 years old is when that happened to me. So don't lose hope, don't lose faith. Just be a healthy, loving influence for him. And, you know, so that he knows that he can trust you when he needs help. That's my best advice. Unless he's being toxic to you, unless he's being really upsetting and hurtful and toxic to you. In that case, of course, you may need to distance yourself. But if he's not, if you still have a loving relationship with your brother, then yes, absolutely be there for him. Hope so as well with him. I think he will come around in time. Probably we care. Oh, Rebecca, I love you. But yeah, it sounds like Fun Size Equestrian. It sounds like it may just be like some of the fun of youth, like the sowing your wild oats. Just let him know it's not a permanent decision. There comes a point when you're young and you're going crazy like that where it can go two ways. You know, you're going to be like, okay, maybe I'll like stop for a while and only use it occasionally when it's fun. Or then you go down the road of I'm having a bad day and I need to forget everything. And that becomes your new habit. So when you see that starting to happen, when it's not just party behavior. Oh, yeah. There's Odin. He's feeling better. By the way, he had if you've been following me, Odin had a urinary tract infection. And then that developed into crystals in his bladder. We had to go take him to the vet. He had to be on medication. Today was his last day of medicine. And he actually went outside today. He went outside today. He went outside for the first time in like, what, 2 weeks? Hi, buddy. And now he wants to go outside again, of course. Cats. He's a mess. Anyway, I probably should stop the live stream here. I'm going to stop. We've got our tassels made. We've got our unicorn thing. Oh, let's see if it's only been probably 30 minutes, but let's see if that helped with this tassel that I made. We might have to leave it like overnight. If you're making a tassel with really weird, yeah, see, it still looks kind of weird. It's not as bad. It's, hang on. Bring it up a little bit. It does not look as bad as this one. See, look, okay, you can definitely see the difference. This is just in like 30 minutes of wrapping it around that card. So if you've got yarn that gives crazy tassels like this and you want to make them straighter, wrap it around a card, like a business card or an old credit card or, you know, your Kroger shopper card or whatever you want. Do that. So that was us making bookmarks today. I didn't even get to the part where I like sewed the crystal on the end, but all I did was sew this crystal on the end. So I sewed a crystal to one end. And I sewed the tassel to the other end and I weaved in my ends. And now I have a bookmark. Oh, I didn't show you guys what I'm reading. Dun, 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 dun. Those of you who waited till the very end of the live stream, Rebecca, if you're still here, the first book I'm starting on my analog journey, Practical Magic. And yes, I've read it before. Don't judge me, but it was good. So I'm going to read it again. If you've seen the movie Practical Magic, the book is nothing like the movie. It is a completely different story. They are completely different characters. This is a whole completely different thing going on. The tone is different. The mood is different. The language is different. Everything is different, except the names Sally and Jilly and the ants, which again are totally different in this book. But I feel like they're two different things that stand on their own. I love the movie Practical Magic. I don't care how cheesy it is. Y'all don't judge me. But the book is amazing. So if you have not read this, go for it. But this is where I am right now. And look, I have even like used the book jacket as a bookmark. So here we are officially at the end of the live stream. I'm going to take my my blue unicorn bookmark and mark my place in the book that I am currently reading. So. Tabitha's here. Late, sorry, rough night. Tabitha, were you out in the thunderstorm on a carriage when the thunderstorm hit? Like, y'all, okay, if you've been in the live stream the whole time, you'll know I started late tonight because my power went out and I totally freaked out. Tabitha works with me at the carriage company, and I obviously was not at work tonight, but yes, honey, why were you? I'm not even gonna, we're not gonna have this conversation. Here, we're gonna have this conversation silently right now. There we go. Panic attack. Yeah. Who are you driving? Please tell me you were driving Emmy. Text you about, okay. Probably not appropriate for the live chat. Tabitha, baby, I love you. Yes, Tabitha, we've gone through all kinds of stuff tonight. We have made bookmarks. We have talked about alcoholism. We have talked about oh my God, what even else? I don't even know. But I'm going to cut off the live stream for tonight. And I'm going to clean up my studio here. And I'm going to maybe finish my glass of wine. Thank you so much to everyone who showed up tonight. You guys have no idea how much this means to me. I've had the last few days have been incredibly difficult for me. And having supportive people here in the chat tonight has made all the difference. And I am going to stop before I cry. Shrinkinings. Yes, Shrinkinings. Emmy. Okay, good. You had Emmy. Okay. So I'm going to cut off the live stream tonight. I love you guys so much. And I will see you. Sunday is going to be another Centaur of Attention video. And then next Wednesday night will be Tap Chat. So you guys stay tuned for that. And thank you very much, everyone. I love you guys. And good night.